Now, for more on the latest tech trends, I'm joined by Steve Koenig from Shanghai. Steve is the Senior Director of Market Research at the Consumer Technology Association. So, Steve, how has CES Asia developed and really changed in recent years?
Well, first of all, welcome to the amazing city of Shanghai and CES Asia. This is our third year hosting this phenomenal event in this amazing city that is just ripe with innovation, and we're so pleased to be here. This year we have over 450 companies from over 20 countries around the world showing their latest innovations, and almost 300 of those 450 are companies from right here in China. It's amazing, and our goal remains to provide that gateway into the Chinese market and the broader Asian community for all those brands that wish to come here to compete and showcase their latest innovations.
And there's certainly a lot of innovation to be had there. So just how important is this year's event?
Well, again, our purpose remains the same, to provide that gateway. But the major trends this year are, of course, AR, VR, drones, and then also IoT, the Internet of Things, which is emblematic, I think, of today's society, where we have about 88% of global consumer technology spending attributable to connected devices. It's truly a connected age, and a lot of the technologies in the halls behind me here at CES Asia are connected, they're attached to services, and all in all, it's making life better for consumers here in China and more broadly here in Asia.
And in terms of the Chinese innovation on display at this year's show, what are the real standouts for you?
Well, there's so many examples where to start, but what's great is that here at CES Asia, we have some of the brands that you're very familiar with, like Huawei and Baidu, and then other companies that are small, even the smallest startups, all from right here in China. And a lot of the startups are showing really bleeding edge technologies, but also the global brands are bringing forward brand new innovations to compete in this marketplace. And I think just some of the standouts are in some of these fantastic and just awe-inspiring categories like VR, robotics, drones, just game-changing technologies. All of it's on display here at CES Asia.
And we're certainly seeing a lot of car makers now venturing into CES events. What did they have to offer?
Well, they have a lot to offer, and this year at CES Asia we have 8 vehicle OEMs from 6 countries. And many of those are again from here in China. And you also have to add to that list Baidu, which is a tech company obviously, but they're here showing their Apollo project, their vision for self-driving vehicles. So there's a lot to talk about here in automated driving that brings much needed safety, to be honest, to the roads here in China, which can be a bit hectic at times, but certainly you could make the argument that's the same around the world. But a lot of automated driving technologies and self-driving vehicles. BMW and Baidu both are offering self-driving vehicle experiences where you can actually take a trip around a small track and experience a self-driving vehicle for yourself.
And as you mentioned, in terms of trends, augmented reality, virtual reality, AR and VR, a lot of competitors in that space. What are some of them doing to really set themselves apart?
Well, we've got a lot of different market plays here at CES Asia. I mean, some of them are pretty standard format where it's some type of a headset, but they're all shapes and sizes, literally and figuratively. Some are more simplistic and very accessible to consumers that are like a cardboard type device or a very, very simple appliance. Others are all-in-one kits that we're seeing, complete with hand gear to really bring your hands into that virtual environment. So a really robust setup for the consumer that really just wants to dive into VR and experience this. We're having a lot of announcements, I think, around content, different entertainment and games. But beyond entertainment, the scenario for use cases for VR and AR, frankly, continues to expand. And so that's another interesting facet to this technology beyond what we usually talk about, which is fun and entertainment. In medical, real estate, engineering and design, all of these industries will be impacted very soon by this AR/VR technology, and it's really exciting to see here at CES Asia.
Certainly lots to look forward to. Thank you so much, Steve Koenig, Senior Director of Market Research at Consumer Technology Association.